Hi, I'm Mike from 1A Auto. We've been selling auto parts for over 30 years.
Hi everyone, Sue here from 1A Auto, and today I'm going to show you on our 06 Honda Element how to change the headlight assemblies. If you need these parts or any other parts for your car, click on the link below and head on over to 1aauto.com. Okay, to start with, we have to take the front bumper off to access both headlight assemblies. So I'm going to raise my vehicle up on a 2-post lift. You can use the jack and jack stands at home, and you're going to get all the bolts underneath first. So to start with the bumper, I'm going to take the outer cover off, and there is 2 on each corner, 10mm socket style bolts. They're probably pretty rusted, but you can't get up in there with the spray, unfortunately. Let's see if this one will come down or if it's spinning in place. Yep. I'm going to try to get some spray up there because this clip does have a cutout right here. I'm going to have to let that soak. And this one I think is spinning in place. I'm going to come over here, get these ready. So at this point we try to remove these little bolts here holding. So they're metal clips with welded nuts on them that hold the plastic down, and they're so rusted that the nut has broken off on the metal clip. So all 4 metal bolts, 2 on that side, 2 on this side, are just spinning in place. So what we're going to do is bring it back down, and we're going to disconnect the top of the bumper and see if we pry it out, if we can access these, and go from that point. So I'm going to remove this plastic clip that's still intact. The other one's missing. So now I've got one piece out from underneath. Now I'm going to bring it down halfway because I got to go in the fender well and see if I can take the 2 bolts out from the fender well. I'm going to take the fender flare, this bolt off both fenders so that I can access the bumper. It goes in here on a clip. That's an 8mm socket. I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. So obviously everything on this vehicle is somewhat broken and causing havoc. So you just got to get this piece out. So now we're going to move on to this one. Hope they all don't break. There's 5 total on this. Oh, look at that, just like the way it's supposed to go. So obviously we're going to have to get a whole bunch of body clips for this vehicle because we just started. And this is how much they're all just coming apart and breaking. They're so brittle. Let's see what we get. There we go. Oh, now we just simply lift this up. There you go. Now we're going to remove all the other plastic clips that we see up here. I think I'm going to have to use multiple tools at the same time to try to save some of these. It's like they're made of steel. I've never seen anything like it. Okay, let's move on to the 3 on each headlight. Okay, we'll move over here. So the reason we're changing these headlights, they're not as foggy as they could be. I've seen a lot worse. But something else that's pretty common with these elements is these ears break off. There's a lot of weight on this front nose design. And I think that has a lot to do with it. The cold and just tapping, you tap it. Both headlights are broken on the assemblies. And that will give an improper headlight alignment. So obviously you go down the road, your headlights will shake, or they're not lined up properly. So I took this bolt out and I took these other two body clips out. I'm gonna take this last one here just to give it a little bit more flex. And now you need to pull this, you're gonna pull this flare out like that. You've got this ear tab that goes over there. See, it mounts right over that screw part. And then these are plastic push-ins. So you're just gonna grab it from the top, pull it out. Now we gotta do the same thing to the other side. So the clip on the inside of this fender well is just spinning. So I'm gonna try a pair of angled needle nose pliers to try to hold that clip in place while I take my 8mm socket, see if I can spin this free. Perfect. I'm just going to keep moving the broken clips. Just going to remove as much as I can. So now I can pull this flare out, grab the bumper, and give it a pull. There we go. Whew. Now let's lower it down and see if we can get to these broken tabs on the bottom. So now that we have access to the bottom mounting bolts, you see the clip is broken. I'm going to use a pair of locking needle nose pliers. See if I can grab onto this. I'm going to use an electric 3/8 drive down below here with my 10mm socket. There we go. We're just going to end up breaking the plastic, I think. So I've got one more over here. Now that I can reach it better, I'll spoke it. And now I'm going to put the locking pliers on this one. I'm going to go down below. Let's see what happens. I'm going to try it this angle. Nope. So basically every clip is rotted, busted. So we're going to have to, now the bumper's off the car. When it comes to the time, we're going to have to remove each one of those clips, whether we have to cut them out or just let them soak a little bit longer. We'll have to replace those. So now I can remove my bumper from the area. So now with the whole grill off, we can see a whole story here. So this to me looks like someone was in a little bumper fender bender, whether they hit another car or tapped on a light post. But because there's no damage to that bumper, they thought, oh, everything's cool, and we're clear, ready to go. You gotta always remember, behind plastic bumpers is more of a scene. So you can see here, the condenser's no good anyways, fins are rotted, but they bent it. It popped itself out of the mounting bracket, and it pushed in. It's got a U shape to it. And then we knew that the headlight was broken up here and cracked. But then once we took the bumper off, we see the whole story right here. They broke, this thing has been having minimal aiming for a while, I think. So all is good. So let's get to it and replace the headlight socket assemblies. So there's 3 mounting points on these headlight assemblies. There's one on the outside fender flare, one on the top of the main support going across, and one on the inner fender well, like radiator support. They're all 10mm sockets. Considering this is the only one really holding it together, I'm going to take this one out first. There we go. So once we've accessed to the headlight assembly, now I've got the harness. I'm just going to pull out of that controller. Then I've got the blinker here and the headlight here. So I'm going to squeeze that trigger, just pull, it's 3-prong. It just basically slides right off. In this one, we're going to pinch that black clip right there in the back, squeeze it and pull. Now we have our old headlight assembly. So I'm going to get to the inner radiator support one. Now, it's obviously easier without that headlight here. So the headlight would be sitting up here. So you might need a longer extension. Okay, we need to save the mounting bolts. And then we get the last one, the top one here. Here we go. So same 3 mounting points over here on the passenger side headlight as it is the driver's. And I'm going to remove the broken one first. Remember to save the hardware because we're going to need the bolts for the new headlight. But we can discard the broken piece. I think I'm going to get this inner one first. So it's located on the actual radiator support. I was a little worried that was going to break. That one's pretty rusted. The head of it's pretty rusted, but it still works. We're going to spray all these down before we reinstall them. And last one is the outer one. Now you just grab the headlight, slide it forward, and disconnect the harness. This is just a plastic cutout. Grab the headlight socket, pull it, squeeze that black tab on the turn signal. Here we have our headlights from 1A Auto. Complete assembly comes with clear plastic on it. You do remove this, it's a shipping package. Keeps the lens from getting marked up in the box. Comes with the headlight, so you don't need a new headlight bulb. You just have to transfer over the blinker socket and bulb. Here's the adjustments. There's only one adjustment on here. It's got all 3 mounting points. Has a drain for any moisture. If you need this part or any other part for your car, click on the link below and head on over to 1aauto.com. So on your old headlights, they come with this metal bar on the top. You have to remove this and transfer it over to the new headlight assembly. So 10mm socket. I'm going to break the other one free while that other bolt is still in there. There we go. If you're doing headlights in a pair like I am, I'm going to make sure I keep these on the right location, left and right, passenger, driver side, because they are cut out differently. So a couple of things you have to transfer over. You have to transfer over the blinker bulb assembly. So that goes underneath this little white plastic shipping tab. Turn counterclockwise. Make sure the bulb's good. The turn signal bulb is a 7443. Place it, lock it in clockwise. And now we have to transfer over these top mounting tabs. That's where that metal bracket goes. So I'm going to start with a pocket screwdriver. And I'm going to reach in here, hopefully just pull this tab out. Like that. And I'm going to transfer that over by simply lining it up, pushing it in. Like that. We'll get this other one. This one's pretty rusted. Hopefully it doesn't break on us. There we go. Now you can see when it's rusted, it loses its spring tension. So I'm going to squeeze that so that way it stays on and locks itself into those little divots, tabs it has. Perfect. Just like to line it up right. Okay, now we can get that bar and mount that bar on there. So this bar is pretty self-explanatory. We have a cutout notch that's going to go in that notch piece, and we have a pinnacle divot pop up, and that's going to go like that. It's pretty easy. So I'm going to spray these mounting bolts down and get some of that rust off there for the future. Just give them a little coating. Get my 10mm socket. bring it on over to the car, install it. I'm going to spray my mounting points before I install the new headlight. So now I'm going to install my passenger side headlight. First thing I'm going to do is take notice of my adjuster and what I'm going to need for a tool once it's in there, and it's a Phillips head. So that's going to be accessed through the backside here once I have this in and do my measurements. First thing I'm going to do is install it. I'm going to plug the headlight socket in. That's a 3-prong, push down, and I grab my blinker socket, turn signal, click that in. And I've got this, line up this point divot right there. This one on that fender. Now I'm going to get my mounting bolts in socket. I'm going to start that bolt by hand. I'm not going to tighten it down until I have all the other two in. There we go. So now I'm going to line up my other two. Okay, let's get this last one in. Before I snug, I'm just taking a visual quickly around, making sure that all the mounting points are lined up. And the last one. Okay, let's take a protective covering off. Look at that. And if you're doing the driver's side headlight, just repeat the process on this side. Now we're ready to put the bumper back on. And we had a lot of hardware breakage from the age of the car, a lot of dry plastic. So we have to replace almost all our pieces. But I'm just going to line it up and show you how to line it up. So, you took it apart, I'm sure you can gather it. So this notch is going to go right into the plastic notch that's in that fender flare. So hold it up, line that up, and just push it right in. I'm going to do the other side the same way. And here are things starting to set themselves in. Now you're going to put all your clips back in on the top. So you're going to put one center clip in. Then you're going to install your top radiator cover, and the outer fours go in after. And then don't forget to take each fender well and put this tab over. You got to tuck up the inner fender well, put the tab over that. Then you place your top fender well over it, and then put the screw in.
This is a basic tutorial on how to aim the headlights on your vehicle. Find the axis of your headlights. This is usually indicated with a small dot or the headlight bulb size on the lens. If not, it's the actual center point of your headlight bulb. Transfer this mark to a vertical wall with a preferably dark color that'll allow you to back up 25 feet. Pull up and find the center line of your vehicle as well as the center line of your headlight axis. Mark the wall with the height of the headlights and a straight line going across at that axis height. Back your vehicle up 25 feet from the wall to the front edge of your vehicle's headlights. Turn your headlights on and locate the adjusting screw, usually on the back side of your headlights. You'll want to rotate this until the passenger hotspot or focus of the beam is approximately 2 inches below the line and the driver's side is 4 inches below the line. We change the heights on each side so you can still get a good beam to the off side of the road on the passenger side and have the driver's side low enough to not blind oncoming traffic.
Thanks for watching. Visit us at 1AAuto.com for quality auto parts, fast and free shipping, and the best customer service in the industry.